And then I still recommend, Uniframes are dead, right? But if you can afford it, you're gonna get Camus for free, right? So I would still say get Haikma. And then if you want, maybe no one or Ronald. And don't pull their 6-star weapon, it's not worth. Camus is free, so it's 5k. And now you have a total of 3 for Babel when Babel comes around. So if you get Uniframe stages, easy. Of course, if you don't care about Babel, you can just ignore that advice and just play like 1 stage on almost max difficulty and you'll have all the rewards. Or 2 stages on really easy difficulty and you'll be absolutely fine. You have to play Uniframes on their own. I think they were basically an experiment from Kuro. I noticed they were just experimenting with some weird gameplay styles, and most of them seemed incomplete, but I think they were trying to get ideas, and then when they were like, okay, this is the good, we'll take the good and we'll leave the bad, then they would end up becoming like an S-rank character, if that makes sense. And then you've got A-rank characters, where a lot of them have a fun gameplay loop, but again, they're just so underpowered, they're usually pretty useless anyway. Which is why it was pretty funny when I had Lotus, and I made Lotus viable in Advanced Pain Cage. Like, genuinely viable. She's like a B rank. But the investment I had to do to make her viable, and the time I spent experimenting and messing around trying to make her viable, like if you're just a normal casual player, do not recommend. You would not give a shit. It's not worth especially the amount of resources you have to dump. There are so many more efficient ways to get that power. So yeah, definitely don't recommend. Unless you're a Lotus sim, or you just really enjoy her gameplay. But pretty much, yeah, if you get 3 Uniframes total, like, that's a nice place to be. I don't think they will become relevant again. I think they've probably ditched them, to be honest. So if you add, for every construct you have with a Uniframe, they lose 30% power. So if I just get rid of Vera, 30% instead of 60. There is one exception to this. So like, in terms of the most damage and the easiest to play, and also the most fun in my opinion, these two. Selena's okay if you have her 6-star, but I don't think it's worth the investment. So this is the Selena Uniframe. Confusing, I know, because there's another Selena that's not a Uniframe. Not to be confused with Free Selena, whose default looks like this. And if you don't have her 6-star weapon, she will not auto-arrange her orbs after her ult. She's an absolute nightmare to play with a 5-star. Because if you don't do her orbs right, you just waste them. They literally just go in the bin and you can't ult. So it's like really frustrating. It just, oh, it's such a mess. You can't sort them nicely. And then either take your pick, Ronald or Noen. Or if you really want, you can pick Kulao. I don't recommend her though, because she's just not that great in comparison. Probably, these 3 are all not great. Like, these are the best 2. Camus the best, like, by far. And then I think Haikma. And then it's kind of like whoever you feel. They all have very different gameplay though. So it's like, look at Ronald. Ronald doesn't even have orbs. See that blue one? You can hold dodge on that. And then if you hold dodge, you'll counter, you'll grab them. And then see how he's flashing red? If I hold attack, you'll instantly just delete him. So you see how he's got this orange bar here? Basically what happens is they always have way too much HP. So the idea is that you get rid of that orange bar. And then when the orange bar is gone, you hold attack and you just kill them. So that's all Uniframes are now. And then when he did his blue parry attack, watch his bar just get drained. His bar is like almost instantly gone. That's what the purpose of that is. It just gets rid of the orange bar really quick. Haikma's got a pretty cool one. So glitchy. We broke him. He lives forever. Ronald execute. There you go. We got a new one. And that's Ronald's counter. But that's it. That's Uniframes.